welcome to another episode of Upright Dogs. I'm your host Cody, and we got Brandon here again with us today. Today we're going to be looking at some videos. Now, I was able to download some new software, so we're going to be putting videos on this time in place of screenshots. It's going to be a pretty good show this round because we're going to watch these videos and kind of depict them as we go. And before we get started, I'd like to go ahead and give the new subscribers a shout out. We got Low Paul, thank you so much. We got Russell Hilgendorf, and a big shout out to Michael. Thank y'all for subscribing and helping us to grow this channel. We have every intention, the bigger the channel gets, and going ahead and getting a website established. From what I understand, I had to have 1,000 subscribers before I can go live with this channel. So if that's incorrect, somebody please correct that fact. But I would love to get 1,000 subscribers so we can go ahead and start doing some field work and bring y'all with us to see what's going on with that. With that in mind as well, if you or anybody that you know has had an encounter or something, something weird that they experienced, even though they might not have saw the Dogman, but knew deep down that that was something more than a bear or a mountain lion, etc. We'll take these calls. We're going to start taking calls as soon as we start getting a buildup of customers calling in with these sightings. And then it doesn't have to be in Texas. It's just Texas is where we choose to, for the time being, to go do our field work. So, like I said, if you or anybody that you know has experienced something like this, give us a holler and we'll get you on the show. And I also want to bring back up on the last episode, I'm still in search of somebody that can translate German to explain that last video in the last episode. So we're still kind of waiting around on that. So it was brought to my attention here recently, some things I want to kind of to go ahead and get out there and explain. I have not been researching the Dogman all that many years, but the information that I have now, it's kind of on the cusp of, we still don't really have substantial proof. You know, we can assume that since they're canine-like features, that they are pack hunters. It would be wise to go ahead and let that burn in your subconscious in case you're ever out in the woods alone or with friends or whatever, doing whatever, that if you do see one of these things and it runs off, by no means think that your situation is over. You know, if you having a stare down, so to speak, with one that you do encounter, keep them ears tuned in to the other three corners, because you know odds are that's the scout, like we said before. But they might already be on you, so it's better to be aware, you know, and then to think just because you ran into this one that it's over with. So it's definitely safe to go ahead and assume that they are pack hunters. Even if they're not, you're still on the ready. Um, Now, we definitely don't know have a scientific species name yet. Um, we, it's best guessed that they can probably cover an area of up to 50 square miles, but that's hearsay at the time. Nobody really knows. I mean, you've got to be able to observe these things in the wild with, recording all this documentation to know answers that we are in search of. I mean, but nobody can see one when they see it long enough to do this type of stuff. So even the best of us researchers out there still are thriving for that conclusive evidence. Because when just you've got to be able to watch that animal in its prime habitat to know anything about it. Okay, we know it's a predator. Um, that much is true, yes. And I won't get into it in depth right now, but in future episodes, I have a theory to this dog man that I'm going to share with you, but I'm going to hold off on it right now. But what I'll give you a piece of it. Man definitely is not at the top of the food chain. Um, I I think that belongs to Bigfoot and the Dogman now. I think they're the ultimate predator. I'm sorry, predator. They're the ultimate predator, and they are the one that keeps the other predators at bay. So that's all I'm going to say about that at the moment. But we just all the researchers on the Dogman, we're still thriving for that same thing. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, we would love to be able to get this thing and go ahead and be the one to be able to name it, to give it a scientific name. But right now, that is just not, it's not happening. These things are far too elusive, and you know, we're going to keep trying, no doubt about that. But we gotta. I want to remind you as well to, if you ever do sight one of these things, don't call the authorities or the game warden. My number is at the first of this video. You can email me, or you can get in contact with people like the uh, uh, Dogman and Sasquatch of Oklahoma, the Cryptid Brothers. You can get in touch with people like them, or Dogman Encounters. You can get a hold of him. Just keep it away from the the government, because once you do, bam, that's shot. It's gone. Because you're going to have to hold your tongue when they find out about it. So turn it into people like us, because if you find one right here in Texas and you can get in touch with me pretty quick, um, send me an email for those listeners. If you do ever see one or pass the word on, send me an email and put emergency in the subject line, and I'll know, because I get my emails across my phone. So if I see that, I'll know it's legit. Please make sure it's legit. That's something else I kind of want to go over before we get started. Uh, I don't, no pranksters. Okay. I'm When I get calls for sightings, you will be screened. I will screen you before we even put you on the show to determine if what you're saying sounds reasonable. Um, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I keep an open mind on the matter, but please just respect that we're trying to find answers for this, and please respect that, and don't, no pranksters. Okay, just wanted to get that out of the way. Anyway, let's get ready here to take a look at this first video. This was a sighting in Taylor, Mississippi. It When I watched this video, I was pretty much starting to get excited until I noticed the ending. The ending's going to throw you for a loop, and I'll go over that with you on what I saw. There's two different factors in here on this video. One of them is coming up right here on this trail cam picture or whatever this is. Okay, clearly on this image, she has an enlarged version here. Clearly that is, always at the corner of the trail cam. You ever notice that? Clearly that's something like a mad looking cow standing up. I don't know. And we can't make any size heads or tails over that doo-doo size there. But right here. Okay, you see this cow? Now, hello, Captain Obvious. It looks like somebody dropped a shade brighter, prettier colored cow into this somewhat too lit up photo. I mean, really, people. I don't know. I don't know if people are out there just trying to um, convince somebody it's legit so they can get the right to name it, or they're just probably mocking people like us. But that gave it away. Boom, over with. I mean, we're going. Let's look at this again right here. Let's uh, let's just have a look at this little photo, and we're gonna back it up. All right. That look at the. It looks like Bessie the milk cow has got into some toxic sludge. Does it not? I mean, look at the mouth. Looks like she's been drinking so much of her own milk that her eyes are bad milky. Wouldn't you agree? This is to me. This is just a total bust. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, there's something I noticed on the video we just watched. Well, what animals do you think of that kill for sport? I doubt this one would.
Oh yeah, that's a good observation there, Brandon. Um, no, nothing. That's movie stuff there. Predators do not kill for sport. Whatever a predator kills, a predator will eat. So unless he killed enough for Uncle Ants and all of that to come feast on those cows, it's something else to help it be a bust. All right, now let's take a look at this next one. Now, this one, since they claim it was back in the 70s, this one still remains in question. Um, now, now, I'm going to tell you, I've got another video to tell that I'm going to put in this one as well. I'm going to put them side by side. Um, I will say this: there are people that can run like the one on the left is doing it to some extent. I've got the proof, and I'm going to show you on this video. But once we get to that point where we can compare the two, then you'll see what I'm gonna be talking about. But the one on the right, Brandon, check this out. He comes up, whoop, it's like he does a last second pose. It's like right there at the end, before he darts to the right, his head stays to the left of that tree, like, what's up? As he goes by. Then he pulls his head around and runs off. Um, but yeah, take a look at it right here. You'll see. Watch this. Here he comes. He's coming. What's up? And he goes by. So, but with this one on the left, now notice this. The dog man, the from what people are describing, the dog man is upper body. He has canine like lower half, but his upper body is that of a man with elongated arms, right? Um, if this animal is down on all fours running, you would have to assume he has no power hardly in his lower legs since he walks bipedal, or or if you're talking wolf terms, in his back, his hind legs. He's not going to have any power in those legs to tote that upper body. So he's not going to be powering off of those legs like it's depicted here in this left picture. He's going to be more like, loping, like you could imagine the same way a gorilla would. You know, when a gorilla darts off, he relies more on his upper body than he does his legs because his legs are so short. So he just kind of, strides out, pull in. Hold your weight while you pull your back legs to you. You know what I'm saying? Out, pull in. This one seems, this picture seems like he's kind of relying the back legs as the power. Did you notice that?
Yep.
Um, let me bring this other video up and we'll. All right, behold, a man running in that position and doing it quite well. So if you could imagine him in some kind of suit, he'd be pretty trippy, wouldn't he?
It would be very trippy.
All right. Also, take note on this picture because we're going to do some comparison here shortly. Notice how high his rear end is in the air as he's running. Um, See how it's janked way up there? I mean, it kind of has to be. I mean, that's just the way it is. But as soon as we surpass this video, and I want to throw up the previous one, and we're going to take a look at something. Okay, so have a look. Now, notice how the hind end on this one's hunkered down low. Well, now look at this one. This guy got his hind end hunkered up high, down low, and up high. Now, the lower somebody has to run like that, the lower they drop themselves, the hard like this guy, the harder it's going to be for him to keep running like that because it's going to start pushing his weight down on his knees. The lower he drops, the more he has to pull the calves and them feet up. Or you know what I'm saying? He has to pull them up to run, which means his knees are going to be hitting his stomach. Um, and he's not going to be able to hold that gallop. So, you know, the Grable video there. I mean, I just have to say it's pretty dang convincing because I mean, if that's a person running hunkered down like that in a suit, oh my gosh, why don't you have them heading up Hollywood? Okay, let's have a look at this one. I think this photo was taken by a biologist or something out in the field doing some work. Um, Now, according to what she said, this thing is like 70 yards away from her. Okay, well that don't look too daggone big for being 70 yards away, does it?
No, don't look too big at all.
And not only that, I mean, I agree. I don't think it's going to be a bear. There is some kind of weird animal that has the ability to walk like that. I forgot what the name of it is, but the body on this thing, from this distance, from what I'm looking at, the body on this thing it almost looks like a baby cub, bear cub. I mean, perhaps, well, not perhaps one about 3 years old. Um, and not only that, they said in the video that it was watching some deer, you know, like in the in the clearing ahead of it up there by the wood line. So okay, so you know, deer or not, this thing is going to walk right past them. I think it was more than one going to walk right past them, not even look at them to go look at the deer.
That is pretty fishy.
All right, I've 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 looked at this one a lot, and I'm still inconclusive. So, um, what's your take?
I guess it could be easily fakened because they kind of looks like a cornfield in a way, and somebody could just put like a thing that they built standing up out there saying they saw that.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean it. I don't think it's. I think it's. You know, I don't think it's definitely a person in a suit, but I think I'm gonna have to dismiss that being a dog man. Now this one, everybody hold your smiles. Just hold your smiles for a little bit because this is one of the top five laughing stocks of the Dogman stories. Um, I've seen this one like three times, and I think I laugh harder every time I look at it. Just right up ahead here. Wait for it, and boom! There it goes. Brandon?
Yeah, everyone could tell that was very fake. As you've seen, it was running and sliding across the ground at the same time.
Yeah, looks like something straight out of the old school. Um, uh, I can't name. Remember the name of that Lionsgate. You know, Lionsgate films. Boy, they used to be cheesy. This is another one we'll hold our smiles on. Now, before they put this video out, they had a. If they would have left the picture alone that they showed before they put this video out, it would have been far more convincing than this one. But observe, if you will, as Mr. Wolf pops right up out of the grass about 30 feet in front of him. Boy, he must have, I don't know, he must have been laying down there the size of a nickel and then popped up full size like that all of a sudden. What?
Yeah, they must have like got bought it from Walmart, must be spring loaded, like squished against the dirt, and you press the button, it pops up.
Yeah, that sounds like that's what it might be. I want to leave you in closing. Um, I want to tell you that should you or pass the word along anybody that may contact you with information of the sighting, if you do come up with substantial evidence, I would recommend that you do not put it up to YouTube. Seek out dogman researchers, or even seek out, if you're worried about somebody taking your credit, seek out alternate routes. I would strongly advise you not to send it out, like I've mentioned before, to law enforcement. And don't put it on YouTube. Not until, because the best thing to do would be to show people like myself the evidence and let us come out with you, and you can take us where you saw this thing, you or somebody that you know, and we can do some investigations, and we can hold that investigation private, not air it until we can make heads or tails of what's going on, and come at it at this approach. And still, even that if we investigate it, we still don't need to put it up to YouTube, because if it's legit enough, my favorite word, YouTube's not going to do anything but snatch it right back down. You can rest assured on that. You can rest assured that anything that is conclusive evidence will not stay there. So I just want to ask that you keep that in mind whenever you're out, should you ever encounter one of these and get good pictures or video of it. with that being said, we have reached the end of another episode. I'm Cody,
And I'm Brandon.
and we will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a like. Share us with all your friends. Take care now.